Did you know that everything you think and believe is bullshit? It's true. It absolutely is true. And the fact of the matter is that because it is, you can change that. I want to talk today about the placebo effect. Now, I imagine that you probably have heard the term placebo effect somewhere along the line in your life. But here's the deal. The placebo effect is generally used in the context of exploring research for drugs. Really, I mean, it started out with the idea that somebody that's bringing a pharmaceutical product to the market, there is this placebo effect that shows up because what generally will happen when you're researching a new drug to see if it works or not, you have to have these blind studies. So you have one group over here that takes your product, this drug, and you have one group over here that doesn't. Neither one of the groups know who's getting the real drug. And what ends up happening, and that's how they discovered this placebo effect, is that the group that doesn't get the drug but believes that they are, gets results anyways, as if they supposedly took the drug. So that's sort of the placebo effect in a nutshell. Here's the thing. It's so amazing how this placebo effect works because you can see it in other ways. And I wanted to share with you today that you are just this placebo effect. You're doing the placebo effect in reverse because you're believing crap that doesn't really belong to you, and then you're making it your reality or your truth. But I remember back in the day when I became a hypnotherapist, and I was studying and doing all my studies, and I came across this study about people that have multiple personalities. The research that I was investigating was so that I could understand how the mind works with respect to hypnosis. Well, I was so blown away with what the mind can do, especially through hypnosis, but more importantly, the study was about people that have multiple personalities. So if you understand multiple personalities, it's an individual who has had such trauma in their life that they basically detach themselves with their supposed core personality, and then they become somebody else. If you've ever heard the story of Sybil, she was one of the most famous because she had a lot. But this study was about a person that had multiple personalities, and they also, in their base personality, they were a diabetic. Here's what's fascinating is when they went into one of their multiples, whichever one it was, that multiple did not have diabetes. And they did research and they studied that the physical blood of this individual, when they were in that multiple, that they had no physical signs of diabetes whatsoever. But when they went back to their core self, the diabetes would be there again. What is happening here? What is happening here is that it's a body, but the mind of the person that's in charge of this body, one of the multiples, it said, we don't have diabetes. And it could absolutely change that in an instant. That's crazy. But that's really the placebo effect at work. I recently came across a couple of other research studies that I find really interesting as well, because there's lots of them, but this one really brought it home to this placebo effect. They did a study with, I think it was 54 women that worked as housekeepers at a hotel. Now, that's a lot of general physical work, if you will. They're carrying towels and sheets and vacuuming and cleaning toilets and all of these things. What they did in this study was they split them in half. They told one half of the group that all of your work is exercise and healthy and really beneficial for you. And the other group, they didn't tell them anything. And prior to the beginning of the study, they had taken all of the readings for BMI and how much they weighed and heart rate and all the general things that you do to determine the health of an individual. And so after 6 weeks of the group that believed every day now that their work, the same work that they've been doing for, probably their whole life, was now exercise in their mind and it was healthy for them, actually lost weight. Their blood sugars were lower. Their overall health and well-being they'd lost weight. Everything, all the indicators were better. The group over here clearly did not. They didn't believe that in their mind. It's amazing when you tell your mind something, it doesn't know the difference between truth and something else. I think it's very, very cool to know that you can create these experiences for yourself if you shift this mindset and truly, 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 truly believe it. They did another study with another group of women that they gave them 2 different drinks to drink. They did all of the base testing for physicality, and it's very scientific about what they determined with the reaction to the food that they were about to ingest. But they gave 2 groups the exact bottle of the same drink, shake, whatever, and it was 360 calories. But on one group, they labeled it was 680 calories with decadence and fat and all kinds of things. And the other group, they labeled it with 120 calories and it was supposed to be good for you and all of that stuff. What ended up happening was it was the exact same drink that both of them were having, but the dynamics shifted in the physical reaction of their bodies and their mind when they took the readings again of how their body ingested it, how their body believed it, what things were happening with the hunger triggers. I mean, it's so fascinating. And the only thing that was different was one got a label that said something and one got a label that said something else, and neither of them knew what each other was getting. It's so remarkable how we as human beings are so controlled by this physical meat stick that we walk around in, that we do not take power and ownership of it. So women, you have more power in this body because it's feminine energy. It's so magical, and you want to begin to understand that your beliefs about you determine how you process food, how you process things that you put into your body, how you process exercise. It's all about how you believe. And so I love it when people say, well, this is the only way to lose weight, or this is the only way to eat on the planet. None of that is true. What is true is how you believe that shows up for you. And literally, I'm not promoting this, but you could go out and eat hot fudge sundaes and eat In-N-Out burgers every day of the week if you wanted to. If you truly believed, honest to goodness, in your core, that wasn't going to affect your body, it wouldn't. That's how powerful your mind is. So what do you want to do with your mind? Do you want to create more money? Do you want to have a better looking body? Do you want to be hot and sexy? Do you want to be the best speaker on the planet? Do you want to fly to the moon? Do you want to run a marathon? The thing is that there is no limitation on this planet that can stop you, because you want to take the information that science and research has shown about this placebo effect and use it to your advantage, that you can be, do, or have, or create anything that you want, because you are not limited to the old beliefs that don't serve you. I love teaching women. I love teaching them that they are the most powerful beings on the planet. And if you'd like to see and have me reflect back to you what I see in your power, there's a link in the first comments below that you can schedule a discovery call, and I would be honored to share with you what I see in you, not what you tell yourself and not what the world has been telling you because you believe it. I believe that you are one of the most magical creatures on the planet, and it's time for you to believe it as well. Queen of Magic out.